If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash-making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, and I just learned of something new that apparently I think has been around for a while. Have you heard of a shacket? I've been getting these ads for fall clothes, sales for fall, all this stuff, and it's the hot thing is to wear a shacket. And I'm like, what the hell is a shacket? It's a slightly oversized shirt jacket hybrid in a fabric that feels heavier than a shirt, but not as thick as a jacket. So I've seen those. I mean, those were also like big in the 90s too. I've seen those, like almost like a thicker flannel, but I didn't know they had a name. I love when people combine words. I think it's hysterical. You guys know I love making up words, but do you have a shacket? Guaranteed my Canadians have been living in shackets like for decades. That's my guess. The Canadians are probably the OG shacket people. But is Gucci going to come out with a shacket now? I don't even know what to say. What I can say is I am thrilled that I am soon. I mean, it's still really warm here at the beach, but hopefully soon I will be done seeing the vag cleavage and the visible camel toe. It's getting old. I'm kind of tired of it. I feel resentful of it too. I don't really need to see that much of your vag, and I also don't need to see like the outline of things. You know what I'm saying? And it's like out just walking around the street like with an iced coffee. I just don't need to see it, but then you look and you don't want to be looking, but you can't not look. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that trend is not around next year. I hope we can lose that because there's other things we could be doing, such as the shacket. I've officially also put to rest. I feel like we need to have music cued in here, but I have put RIP my hint of lime Tostitos. It was time. They ripped up my stomach one last time, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. And they're in the garbage. The chemical-laden powder on top of it clearly wasn't agreeing with my intestinal system. And it was time. But isn't it wild when we eat stuff that we know isn't good for us? And I don't mean like calorie-wise even, like stuff that hurts our stomach, stuff that doesn't make us feel good the next day, yet we still eat it. I'm like, I wouldn't feed something that did that to my dog. Why am I doing it to myself? So it had to go. And we'll see what I become interested in next. But we know it's not going to be pumpkin spice lattes. Speaking of which, for the month of my birthday, which is September, shout out my fellow Virgos, I am giving you a beverage of your choice. So whatever it is, if it's a venti, cold foam, shaman blessed, celery juice, whatever the hell you drink, I am treating you to a drink of your choice for leaving a 5-star written Apple Podcast review of the show. You can also leave a review on Spotify, but I need the Apple Podcast reviews. Really want to get the show to 600. I don't know if you guys know this because I know I have a lot of my listeners all over the world in New Zealand, Croatia, Scotland, Denmark. Love you guys. Australia, France. I mean, we're in, I don't know, like 51 countries now. Each country, when you see the reviews, they're only showing the reviews from that country. Very fascinating. So I know when I say 600 reviews, some of you are like, you're only at 70 in that country. But every review counts from any country. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It just needs to be written. It takes you less than 30 seconds. Put your name or Instagram handle in the review and then take a quick screenshot. DM me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany so that I know you left the review, and I would gladly treat you to a delightful beverage of your choice. Non-alcoholic though, but I will treat you to that beverage just to say thank you for being such a generous and an appreciative and loyal listener of the show for the month of September. So go do that. Pause the show even. Go do that right now. Come back. And if you don't know how to leave a review, you'll be okay. You can Google it. How do I leave an Apple podcast review? And the step-by-step instructions will come right up. And then you'll go, oh my God, it's so easy. It takes 2 seconds. Navigating the messy middle seasons of life and business. Let me tell you, no one makes major life changes when they're comfortable. It's pain that motivates us to change. If you're in pain right now, it's there to wake you up and fire you up to take necessary action that you've been putting off for way too long. Our physical bodies use pain as an alarm system, right? To alert us that there's a problem we need to address like now. I'm thinking of the time where I ruptured a disc in my spine kickboxing because I couldn't ever be bothered to warm up or stretch before doing a workout like that. It didn't burn calories, so why bother? But without that excruciating pain, I would have kept working out because I was in the throes of my workout addiction and ended up paralyzed. No joke. For our emotional state, though, the pain may not be so startling. It can show up as resentment, depression, feeling unmotivated, blah, exhausted, anxious, overwhelmed, confused, even stuck, even though that's not really a feeling, but I get that. I get the vibe of the stuckness. And pain shows up for people so differently. It's incredible. And even in my support group that I'm in, it's just fascinating how pain is so unique to each person. Some people get super, super panicky when they're in pain. Some people get angry. Some people get really detached and isolate. So it's how it shows up for you. Interesting, though, how we have a greater tolerance for emotional pain than physical pain, isn't it? Bottom line is, if you're feeling restless, irritable, or discontent, your nervous system is trying desperately to send you a pain warning. Like, hello, notice me here. You're doing too much. You're giving too much. You're not receiving enough. You're not resting enough. You shouldn't be in this job anymore. This person shouldn't be in your life. You need to detach from this person. You need to stop doing this thing. You need to start taking better care of your body. You need to go to bed earlier. You need to get up off your ass and actually go after the thing you're saying that you want to do and get out of resistance. It's letting you know, it's sending a signal. And let me tell you something. It's only going to get louder and deeper until you address it. And it's not only going to show up in your body. God, the universe, sends you nudges. First, I think it starts as a whisper, quite frankly. It's like a whisper, then a nudge, then a shove, push. And then if you're stubborn ass like me, you can end up having to get really sick to wake up, have a blowout at work to wake up, lose money, end up attracting like a situation or a circumstance in your life that's wild and painful to wake you up. And some of us require that. I'm not welcoming this, universe. I need to say this right now. I have my hands in the air. I do not welcoming any more drama for 2022. Thank you. But I do believe this is the year of the reckoning. I don't know anyone who hasn't experienced a great deal of loss. Painful stuff things come up that they didn't expect, stuff that they've had to work through, circumstances, things that have knocked them down. And it's all happening for our greatest good and for a clearing, but that doesn't mean it doesn't suck. And what happens by avoiding your pain is whether it's emotional or physical, you're going to pay a price for it. You don't tend to, let's say you sliced your hand, I don't know, cutting bread. And you're just like, oh, I'll kind of rinse it out a little bit and I'll deal with it later. And you weren't really tending to it. What's going to happen? You're going to get an infection. You don't deal with any of that. You could end up, or didn't go get it looked at. Maybe you should have had stitches and now it's going to end up as a scar and it didn't have to. I mean, it can go even as far as a cut can quickly turn into a staph infection. You can actually die from it by not tending to your stuff. I know people who've not tended to having routine dental care and had to have teeth pulled that wouldn't have had to have been pulled if they had just done regular routine cleanings. No different than, right, how we treat a car, right? If you don't keep the oil clean in your car, you don't clean your car, you don't look at stuff in your car when the engine light's on or some kind of lights on, or you need your regular service, there's going to be a price to pay for it. My question for you is, what payoff are you getting by staying stuck in this? And I'm not getting a payoff, Tiffany. Like, I'm feeling miserable. I don't like being broke. I feel controlled by money. I'm not happy in my job. I feel unfulfilled in life and da 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 da. Yeah. But you're also not doing anything to change your circumstance. So you must be getting a payoff by staying in your certain situation that you're in and continuing to not take the action that you know is required, or take that scary action, or make that next step, or invest that money, or detach from that person, or stop doing that thing, or start doing that thing. Start working out, start eating better, start treating your business like a business instead of a hobby. So what payoff are you getting by continuing to stay stuck? And if nothing's coming up for you right now, it's okay. I was asked this question by my longtime manifestation law of attraction coach. And I remember when he asked me, you're getting a payoff for this. And I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out what it was. And in some instances, we've become attached to a story. And I'm just going to give you some examples from my life and then stuff where I've worked it out with clients without saying their names, of course, but what's come up for them, and maybe it'll help you. I'm hoping it'll help you. For me, in the situations where I was resisting doing things, I was feeling that the unknown was far scarier than staying in the uncomfortable known. And so the payoff was not taking the risk and it being me being worse off. So I was like, staying safe was a payoff. I have had clients where they're like, why do I keep backpedaling in my business? And they hired me because they know I'm going to keep them accountable. And there's nothing that's going to keep you more accountable than also making a big investment in yourself or in your business because of time, energy, money, because you're crazy then if you don't show up for it, which is what I do for myself to keep myself accountable. And we've gone through this exercise. Things have come up where even as deep as I'm afraid that I won't be a good mom if I really go all in on my business, that I can't do both. Another is that I'm going to be seen differently or treated differently by my significant other. In the situation I'm thinking of, her husband is pretty successful. And there was a little bit of a fear of disrupting the dynamic of earning as much, if not more, than the husband. And there was a part of her that liked being cared for and liked not having the financial responsibility and have to be the breadwinner of the house because that didn't sound fun. And also not knowing what that looks like. For another client, it was exposure, avoiding the exposure. Because when you really go for something and put yourself out there, it's vulnerable and there is a risk. There absolutely is a risk to doing all the things. But there also is a risk and a cost to not doing all the things. So you just have to be honest with yourself that you're getting a payoff, even if you're miserable, even if you're uncomfortable and irritable and feel like you hate your life. You're getting some kind of a payoff by avoiding some unknown or made up or perceived potential pain. Maybe that's your payoff, but you've got to address that and be honest with it. It's going to help you walk forward, because then you're going to go, you know what? That's not so much of a payoff after all. When you really bring it to light and you talk about it or you write about it, it's like, that's not really getting me anywhere. And the cost of how I'm feeling and the energy that's being drained and the crabbiness that I exude to everyone around me regularly, the fact that I have to ask permission to get Botox, the fact that I can't just go spend money or take a trip when I want to spend it, I can't go live where I want to live, I can't just quit my job. That's far more of a payoff to be able to have those things than it is to stay stuck. And if you were getting nothing out of this discomfort, you would have already taken action. This is a hard truth to hear, but it's something that's going to get you on the other side so you can really process some of this. And don't get stuck in, oh, I feel I have to figure this out in order to move forward. Figuring out is not a business plan. Figuring it out is not a life plan. There's a lot of things in my life and a lot of people and circumstances and shit that's happened to me that I'll never figure out. And it's not holding me back because I'm choosing to not let it hold me back. But we just have to be honest with ourselves about what we're doing. And it's okay. And it's okay. And if it's not a priority for you right now to go after the change and the things that you want because you're not willing right now to do what needs to be done to get there, then admit that without judgment, that you're not there yet. And that's okay. And it's just for today. You're not willing to go all in creating your business or taking your business to the next level or getting help with it today. You're not willing to do what it takes to get healthier in your body today. You're not willing to address the shit in your relationship with your sister today. It's just, you can make a different decision tomorrow. Really have a look at that and own that for today. Otherwise, you're obsessing over wanting something, pining over it, wishing you had it, and then doing nothing about it. And that is a self-imposed purgatory, and there is nothing that causes more discontent and terrible feelings than being in that spot. I know I've spent probably a lot of years in that exact spot. One action that you can take today, and I'm going to give you two. There's two actions. One is free, and one is about $3.33 a day. So basically free. My first thing is, if you have not downloaded my Summer Abundance Walk guided meditation series, that is free right now. You need to grab it. And I don't care. You can listen to it in the fall and the winter. It still applies. I just made it summer because it sounded fun for marketing and we had some cool pictures of me on the beach. It applies any time of year. And there's an additional bonus audio in there that addresses self-doubt. Can I really do this thing? And you'll love that. You do not have to walk to do it, but I'd like for you to be in some kind of motion. I've had some people reach out who have some physical limitations. You don't have to be exercising. You can be stretching. You can be in the bath and kind of just like massaging your hands or moving just a little bit. I just want some kind of motion going on in your body and what you can do. But please don't think that it has to be something extreme. This is meant to be used for everybody. Swipe up. It's right in the show notes, projectmewithtiffany.com/summer abundance, and share it with someone else. Share it with someone who is really working through money stuff, wants to make more money, wants to call in more money into their life, feels like they have money blocks. They have something that's blocking calling in the very things that they want so much in their life. Sharing's caring. Share a free resource with them. I don't do anything that's basic. Everything I put out that's free, I absolutely know I should be paying for it. That's how I know the shit's good. The other thing is there is a secret birthday flash sale. Well, it's probably not so secret now. I've said it a few times. For my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership. So you get $50 off the first month, plus my content creation made easy course bundle. So you're getting my content creation made easy course. You're getting my content planner. You're also getting my fill in the blank profitable caption template as well. This bundle is valued at $297 and you're getting it free for my flash birthday sale. You're going to use the code SECRET50 at checkout. So use code SECRET50 at checkout. That link is also in the show notes. You can swipe up to access it or go to projectmewithtiffany.com/ProjectME Posse. And at the very least, go earn yourself a damn smoothie, a juice, venti quadruple, cold foam, mochaccino, whatever the hell you drink. Except I'm not supporting pumpkin spice anything. So you can't buy pumpkin spice with this. All right. But go get yourself a drink. And that's designed for it to be for you. Like a drink you might not normally order because you're like, oh, it's too expensive or it's kind of a waste or too many calories or whatever bullshit you tell yourself. I want you to be sipping on that while you're listening to the show, laughing, or one of your favorite songs, cruising around in your car, going to TJ Maxx, looking at shit, doing a Target run, escaping from your family. That's what it's designed to do. And all you have to do to get that again is go leave a 5-star written review of the show. If you love the show, if you don't, then I don't know why you're listening right now. But go leave a review. And on Apple Podcasts, I would love it if you also left one on Spotify. That would be great. Put your name or Instagram handle in the review. Take a quick screenshot. DM it to me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany. And I will be happy to treat you to a drink, a luxuriating drink of your choice. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.